is Michelle Hilton. I'm here on the set of the Pink Com Project, my show. With me is basketball, college Hall of Famer, government employee, plus size model, and more importantly, my little sister, Ashley Hilton. Yay! So, because I'm so incredibly happy she's here, we have to take take a toast or make a toast? Which one?
Make a toast.
She's a lot smarter than me. Bear with us. Make a toast to sisters, Hilton sisters. We always say we're the better and thicker Hilton sisters. And we are drinking what? What are we drinking today?
Henny and ginger.
Which, can we get a little background on that one? So I love Henny. I love very hard, manly drinks. And my sister here only drinks, or has only drank, Malibu and Diet. That just gives you a little, background. But she's now drinking Hennessy, which she only started drinking that when I wasn't around. So can we talk about that for 1 second?
Yeah, I was out at a party one day. A guy was like, "Oh, make a drink," but all they had was Henny and vodka. You know, I'm allergic to vodka.
Right.
So
True story.
I was like, "Not make a drink, get a free drink."
Oh,
Let me get the drink. So I just ended up making a Henny and ginger, and then when I told her, forget about it.
Yes.
You never drink that with me.
No, I actually was really bad.
She was actually really mad at me. So the next time we went out, I was like, "Oh, what are you getting?" And she was like, Red Bull vodka. And I was like, 2 Henny and gingers, please. And she was like, "Oh, shoot. Here we go."
Exactly. So that's where we are now. So cheers.
Cheers.
You better drink it.
I drink like a champ. She can't.
Excuse
Funny
me.
how the tables turn.
Yeah, so weird. Okay. So our first thing I think we're going to talk about is your basketball career, which I think is like the best thing ever known to man. I'm a very proud older sister. So what you see now is actually not what really was years ago. She used to be this really, really tall, skinny girl, like really, really skinny. We're talking like she would sit there with a pint of ice cream and would just eat it. 5 or 6 or 7 like ice cream sandwiches, like really, really just eat. This is a new bod for her. Not that it's bad, it's a great body. I love it. However, we're gonna talk about the basketball part. I just kind of skipped a little bit, sorry. So please tell me, now that you have gone from being really, really skinny and really, really thin and fit, you're still fit and very fit, but you've gone from playing basketball, being really, really thin, probably maybe 30 pounds lighter, and now you're still playing, obviously, so in college you played, and now you're playing in different leagues. Like, tell me maybe if you feel a difference playing on your knees, or maybe not, and then kind of like how people view you, if you think they view you in a different way or not.
I don't really feel a difference per se in my body itself and the way my body reacts, or my knees, or the pressure or anything. But definitely, I feel like when I play against new opponents, a lot of times I step on the court and they're like, "Oh yeah, I got her." And then it's funny because the first time I try to guard me, I just take one quick step and I blow by them, and they're like, "Oh shit," like.
Right. They think you're like the big slow girl.
Right. So they're like, "Yeah, I got her," and then they can't check me or come even close to it. So it's just that respect is like the biggest difference that I've noticed from when I played in college to now, because when I was in college, I literally was 30 pounds lighter. So I was able to, I just had a basketball body, and now I don't have the token basketball body. So that's really been the biggest difference for me, is just how opponents have perceived me, and how I actually think it's funny because I completely
kill them.
And I just completely thrown off like their train of thought about what they perceive me to be and like what my game to be. So that to me is the biggest difference that I've noticed.
Yeah. So you don't have like a hard time going up and down the court anymore, or?
No, it's funny because I recently had surgery on my shoulder. So my first game back was last week, and this girl that I played against was like, "Oh, where have you been?" So I was like, "Oh, I had surgery, my first game back," and she was like, "Oh, so you're not going to be the first girl down the court again?" And I was like, "Oh no, I am." Yeah. So it's funny because I'm typically like the thickest, biggest girl on the court, but I'm always the first one down. So like I'm still running at a great speed, and have a lot of endurance despite, my size.
Right. See, I think it's actually really funny because I know that, like, for me growing up, I've always been, like, thicker. I mean, probably 30 pounds lighter, high school and college. but thicker, so people automatically assumed, again, like I was going to be slow, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I was always like really, really fast. So it's kind of like the same thing. Mm-hmm. So I kind of, not that I obviously wouldn't want anyone to think that way of you, but I kind of like it that you kind of feel how I have always felt, you know?
For sure.
For sure.
Yeah. Why are you gonna box me out though?
So going into the basketball part and then going into kind of like real life, going from really, really skinny to now like the industry kind of looks at you as plus size, which next to me, you're definitely not. Like I'm visually plus and you're not, right? In pictures and like whenever we go anywhere, you're really visually not plus. But I know like recently you've actually gone through like a whole like body shaming thing on Facebook, on like social media. And kind of tell me a little bit about that part.
So growing up, like she mentioned before, like I could sit and eat whatever I want, and people would always be like, "Oh, it's gonna catch up to you," and I was just my metabolism was just on fleek, right? So I could eat anything and everything I wanted, and so it's a struggle for me now that I've stopped playing sports all day every day. I can't eat whatever I want, and because of my eating habits, I have gained a lot of weight, which I'm still 100% comfortable in my body.
Right.
I attest a lot of that to watching you grow up. And like you said, like you've always been not big, but in terms of athletes, a little on the thicker side.
Yeah.
So, and I've always seen how much confidence you've had. So that's really helped me in my transition from being like a size 6 to now a size 12. I'm 100% confident in my body. So I recently, a few months ago, went to a party, wore a crop top, you know, skin out. I thought I looked good. And then I'm a part of this Facebook group that's like for the tall and beautiful. And then all of a sudden this girl like cropped a picture of me from here to here and posted and was like, "This shit ain't cute, da da da." And most people were like, "What are you doing? That's disgusting. Like we don't do that to people." But a couple people were like really chiming in and going in on her, in with her on me, and I was just like, what is that?
Yeah.
Like, thank God I'm very confident in myself and in my own skin, because like I laughed at it. I thought that it was funny, and I was like, this speaks more to you than it does to me. But a lot of people who don't have that confidence and have been used to that ridicule growing up, like that would be a very difficult thing to go through. And like I said, I have a confidence, so it just kind of rolled off my back. But God forbid that was someone that doesn't. Like I would be terrified to see how that would affect them in the long term or even the short term.
I agree. You know, I think it's actually most interesting about that. Not that I obviously would ever want that to happen to you or be shamed or have like you feel in a certain type of way. The fact that like a woman that's not visually plus, that's actually really in shape, gorgeous, like plays ball, has an athletic build, is still getting like body shamed by. I mean, you know how I feel because I've seen this on me, so it actually made me really, really angry right when I saw her. But I was like, at the same time, it's like, if I shame her, I'm doing the same thing that she did to you, right? I'm no better. So I shouldn't hear and talk crap about her. But it's like, how would you ever, it's like, only because of her insecurities. And it comes from like either you're really thin or you're really big. Either, it doesn't matter actually really your size. Do you agree with that?
Absolutely. And you know, a lot of people reach out to me after the fact and like, are you okay? This and that. And I was like, you know what? To me, this is personal. This is not about how I look or the size of my stomach or my thighs or anything. This is a personal thing. She just didn't like me as a person.
Exactly.
And I understood that. You know, that was the one thing that she could make fun of me about was that I was, you know, I'm thick through the midsection. It's like there's nothing else that she could come at me about but that. And I know that. And I'm very confident in that fact. And that's why I wore the crop top.
I know, I remember.
That day, I was like, I'm going to show her.
I remember you're like, I want to wear this. And you're like, and you wore this skirt, I think, actually.
That's the same skirt.
Because you're like, I need to go in there looking hot. And you and you looked really, really hot.
I thought so.
Could we do cheers to that?
Show again.
Sister, cheers. Keep drinking.
Keep drinking, we'll find ya.
Sorry, that's what our dad does or says. Okay, so now I actually want to talk about the plus size modeling that you've done, which is awesome. So you haven't done a lot, but you've done some quality stuff. So we're talking about the Today Show with Hoda, not Kathy Lee, but Carson, which is awesome. Pix 11, which is a morning show here in New York. It's a Ono's Ono's, which is a French brand. We did the lookbook. And then Realway, the runway for about 2 years. You're like one of the first models that Catherine ever had there. Just for me, just because I want to hear it, because I've always wanted to be, on the Today Show, which is crazy because, I've been modeling longer than her, and that was kind of my passion. And my sister's there, and she got discovered from a woman at one of my shows and asked her to come to the Today Show and for Pix 11. So obviously I was a little bit of jealous because I wanted to do it, but there's no other person I would rather see on TV in that opportunity than you. So can you tell me a little bit about it? Was it so fun? Because is Hoda so cool and lovely as she is you think she is?
Yeah, it was definitely a lot of fun. Even just the behind the scenes, getting hair and makeup done professionally by people that doing the big stars day in and day out. Just sitting in those chairs and having them talk to you and be so personable was just a really good experience. And then even being on set, you don't have much interaction with the hosts, but even just those couple of seconds that you do. And as you're walking off set, they're like, "Oh, you look so good, girl!" It was just a really cool experience.
Yeah.
It was a really cool thing to go through. Yeah.
And it's so funny because one of the top things that she actually talked about after was about the freaking dog
Wrangler.
That's on Today Show. Wrangler. I'm like, are you kidding me? You're on Today Show and then you're talking about the dog.
I was I saw the dog.
I was like, well, who cares? Does Kathy leave there? I want some buttery shard with her. You don't even care. So it was awesome.
Yeah, it was a really cool experience. I'm really happy I got the chance to do that.
And I know with Pix 11, because I had done Pix 11 before too, and it's really fun. But I know that you wore jeans, denim. And tell me a little bit about that experience, because I know it was denim for everyone, different sizes, right? Or different heights?
It was dressing for your size.
Okay.
So I was a couple of the plus girls. So it was a really cool experience just to be able to show other plus size women that you don't have to just wear leggings every day because it's more comfortable.
Exactly.
There are jeans out there that can fit your body type.
Yeah.
And you just have to be cognizant of what brands cater to your size.
So as I'm sitting here and drinking my hard Hennessy and ginger ale, can I please tell you how very proud I am of my little sister? Not that my dad would be proud that I'm drinking Hennessy and ginger ale with my little sister as I'm talking about this. However, come on. Sports guru of the world, awesome basketball player, 1,600 points in college, over 800 rebounds, 2-time Conference Player of the Year, honorable mention All-American, and a Hall of Famer. You can only imagine how awesome my dad felt at her Hall of Fame banquet, which was 2 years ago, right? We all were there. Not that, obviously, I was extremely proud, and my mom was too, but I think my dad probably felt a little bit, a different feeling than the rest of us, Just because, growing up, we were on the basketball court, and it was first me, and then it was Ash. And speaking of that, we actually have a really funny basketball story to tell.
God.
So Ashley was always my dad always made me do 2-a-days. So when all my friends were outside, at the beach, whatever, I was doing 2-a-days. I went to all these camps in the summertime, but he made us a basketball court. And he made me practice two times during the day. So one time where I was doing my 5 points with my shooting thing, and Ash was rebounding for me. I don't know how old you are.
8.
Maybe 8,
Maybe
right?
8.
I'm 14, 13? And she wasn't going fast enough. One, she
For
was
her. Fast enough
slow,
for her.
short, and whatever, right? So I keep,
I'm short.
at the time you were. So anyways, I'm screaming at her, give me the ball, rebound faster. She's like, I hate you, chucks the ball at me, goes inside. For some reason, I knew she'd be back, and I knew the reason why she'd be back is my dad was going to bring her back. Sure enough, how long ago was it?
2 seconds.
So what'd you do? You went
I
inside?
ran inside and I said, Dad, she's being mean to me. And he goes, go outside and rebound for your sister.
She comes back outside. She goes, I'm not doing this because I want to, because Dad's making me. And you know what? For that, short time, I actually didn't really care. I knew you'd be out, and I knew Dad would make you. Second, during field hockey, actually just picked it up out of the blue. And at the time, I only had 1 stick. So I was like, Ash, can you just please play with me? Come on, play with me. So I made her play with a softball bat. And I don't know if you know field hockey or not, but you really can't play.
You can't play with a round bat with a round ball. Because when you hit it, it goes every which direction. So that was me playing field hockey with a round softball bat that was probably 5 inches too short for me.
And my dad made her do it. So it's kind of coming from just like proud sister but proud dad, right? Because he like instilled all those things in both of us. But not just those stats, but then bringing on to like the plus size model. Obviously, like if you think about like model wise, right? Ash is definitely like a model-esque compared to me. Which I like that because when I started doing it, like she was around and everyone would see her and be like, okay, let's do this, let's do that. And it finally happened for her. This one like stylist brought her in, did Pix 11, did Today Show. And even though like I really, really wanted to do the Today Show so bad, it was like if there was any other person I would want to see, it would be her. And I am really, really competitive, so I actually didn't want to see any of the other models there, being very honest. But when you see her, it's like you can't. It's my little sister. Like anything she does, like I love it, I support it. It's like my little sis. So I just want to say real quick like how proud I am of you with the plus model and being that awesome basketball star, awesome person, but also she's a government employee, which most people don't know about. I can't really like say what she does. But if you really think about it, right, you have this great woman and all these things. Now she's considered a plus size lady. Plus size woman taking over all these different places. So, you know, happy for you.
Thank you.
Okay, time for the game. Enough of the sob story.
Here we go.
This is where Dad's not going to be happy.
This is where the competition and the comes into play.
Yeah.
I'm going to win.
Anyways, I always win everything.
She cheats in everything.
I cheat sometimes, whatever. Okay, so what we're going to do is like in all my other episodes, we've always done the Pink Cup Confessions. So this is Pink Cup Confessions, Hilton Sisters style.
All right, your first question.
So I'm gonna ask her first question, and you see how well she knows me. If she gets it wrong, she drinks. If she gets it right, she asks me a question. First off, my favorite basketball player is
Grant Hill.
Right. Go.
What's my favorite lunchtime food?
Peanut butter and jelly. Tuna.
No. Chipotle burrito.
OMG.
I'm winning.
My favorite lunchtime food.
Okay, second question. Ask me.
Okay. My bra size, C or double D?
C.
Asshole. Go.
What do I drink first thing in the morning, every morning?
A Diet Coke.
Okay, she's right. Wait, you didn't drink though.
Oh, yeah, I did. This is the one I think you're going to get wrong. What are the 5 states that I've lived in longer than 4 months?
Do I have to go in chronological order?
No, you don't have to.
I'll try that one.
Okay.
Virginia.
Yep.
Maine.
Yep.
New York.
Yep.
Georgia.
Yep. What's the last one?
New York.
Oh, wait. No, you said New York twice.
No, I didn't. I said Virginia, Maine. Oh, I did say New York.
You did. What's the last one? You did the last one. This is the one I thought you were going to stump on. You.
Florida.
Oh.
When you worked at Disney.
Yep.
I know.
Okay, your turn.
I know. What was my college mascot? The New Haven? Drink.
Pride.
No! Drink! Chargers!
Oh, I know Chargers.
Next question. I'm winning. I'm up by 2.
Oh, do I like Asian guys or Spanish guys?
Asian. All right. What's my next question? What hand do I shoot a basketball with?
Right. But you dribble. But you draw. I mean, you.
This is your right hand. So I eat and I.
Wow.
Last question. Let's see if we have time for 5.
I can't see. Oh, what is my favorite food? Teriyaki steak or pig meat?
Teriyaki steak.
Yeah!
Pink meat's mine. Let me ask you my last question.
Is it the same one?
What 3 states have I lived in?
Sucky. Maine,
That was easy.
Connecticut, New York.
There you
Really?
go.
That's all you're
Look,
doing?
I still won by 2.
Whatever.
I'll drink to that.
All right. Pink Cup Project with Michele, Hilton, and Ashley Elizabeth.
Hilton.